The stars shimmered against the vast darkness as Commander Alex Russell stared through the viewport of the EDF Valiant. His weathered face reflected in the reinforced glass, lines etched by years of military service and the weight of his current responsibility. Today, humanity would meet aliens for the first time. "Commander, the Xeraxian ship is approaching the designated meeting point," Lieutenant Samantha Cole reported from her station. Alex nodded, squaring his shoulders. "All stations, maintain alert status. Weapons systems on standby, but offline. We're here for peace, but ready for anything else." The bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency. They were the best Earth had to offer, handpicked for this historic mission. Humanity had discovered faster-than-light travel only 20 years ago, and in that short time, they had explored dozens of star systems. Finding signs of other intelligent life had been inevitable. Making contact was the logical next step. "Visual contact established," announced Officer Ben Wright from the sensor station, putting it on the main screen. The display flickered to life, showing a massive vessel that dwarfed the Valiant. Its hull appeared almost organic, with flowing lines and an iridescent surface that shifted colors like oil on water. No visible weapons could be seen, but Alex wasn't fooled. Any species capable of interstellar travel would have ways to defend themselves. "Open communication channels," Alex ordered. Lieutenant Cole's fingers danced across her console. "Channel open, sir." Alex straightened his uniform and faced the camera. "This is Commander Alex Russell of the Earth Defense Fleet vessel Valiant. On behalf of humanity and the United Nations of Earth, we extend greetings and peaceful intentions to the Xeraxian Confederacy." For several tense seconds, only static answered. Then the screen split, showing the interior of the alien vessel. Alex fought to keep his expression neutral as he got his first look at a Xeraxian. The creature stood, nearly 10 feet tall. Its body resembled an insect, with a hard exoskeleton that shimmered with the same iridescent quality as its ship. 6 limbs, 4 arms and 2 legs, moved with unnerving precision. Its head featured compound eyes that glowed with an inner light and mandibles that clicked softly as it observed the humans. "I am High Executor Vexanar of the glorious Xeraxian Confederacy," the alien said, its voice translated through the ship's computers into a mechanical approximation of human speech. "We have been observing your kind for some time. Your recent advancements have brought you to our attention." Alex felt a chill at those words. How long had they been watching? "We are pleased to establish diplomatic relations with your people. We hope this meeting marks the beginning of peaceful cooperation between our civilizations." The alien's mandibles clicked rapidly, perhaps their version of laughter. "Cooperation? What could your primitive species possibly offer the Xeraxian Confederacy? Your technology is basic. Your understanding of the universe is limited. Your military capabilities are negligible." Alex felt his jaw tighten, but maintained his diplomatic demeanor. "Every species has something unique to contribute. We have much to learn, but also much to share. Knowledge, culture, resources. There are many bases for mutually beneficial relations." "Perhaps," Vexnar said, though his tone suggested otherwise. "We will meet in person to discuss your place in this sector. The Xeraxian Confederacy controls 300 star systems. Your solar system lies within our expansion zone." The implications weren't lost on Alex. This wasn't a friendly first contact, it was an imperial power sizing up a potential conquest. "We welcome a face-to-face meeting," Alex replied carefully. "Our ship has suitable facilities for your delegation." "No," Vexnar said sharply. "You will come aboard our vessel. Bring no more than 5 representatives. No weapons." Before Alex could respond, the communication ended. Lieutenant Cole turned to him, her face pale. "Sir, that didn't sound like a diplomatic overture." "No, it didn't," Alex agreed grimly. "Contact Earth immediately. The Security Council needs to hear this." While they waited for Earth's response, Alex selected his team. Lieutenant Cole for her linguistic expertise, Dr. Nathan Hayes, their chief scientist, Security Chief Lisa Grant, and diplomat Eric Foster, who had trained for years for this exact scenario. though nobody had expected it to be quite so tense. "I don't like this, Commander," Chief Grant said as they prepared to board the shuttle. "Going onto their ship puts us at a severe disadvantage." "I know," Alex replied, checking that his emergency beacon was securely hidden in his uniform collar. "But refusing would send the wrong message. We need to appear confident but non-threatening." The shuttle journey to the Xeraxian vessel took 12 minutes. 12 minutes of silence as each team member contemplated what awaited them. The Xeraxian docking bay was enormous, clearly designed for craft much larger than their shuttle. As they stepped out, the atmosphere felt heavy, the gravity slightly stronger than Earth's. The air had a sweet, almost cloying scent. 4 Xeraxian guards escorted them through winding corridors. Up close, the aliens were even more intimidating, their exoskeletons clicking softly as they moved with insect-like precision. They entered what appeared to be a conference room, though the furniture was unsuitable for human anatomy. High Executor Vexnar waited, flanked by several other Xeraxians wearing ornate exoskeletal attachments that Alex assumed signified rank or status. "Welcome aboard the Dominant Will," Vexnar said. "Flagship of the Xeraxian expansion fleet." Alex noted the name with concern. Not an exploration vessel or diplomatic ship, but an expansion fleet. "We appreciate your hospitality," Alex replied. "We're eager to establish understanding between our peoples." Vexinar's compound eyes seemed to flash. "Understanding is simple. The Xeraxian Confederacy has claimed this sector for expansion. Your species has 2 options: accept protectorate status under our benevolent rule or face elimination." The bluntness of the threat stunned the human delegation. Diplomat Foster stepped forward. "Surely there's room for negotiation. Humanity is peaceful, but we value our independence." "Independence is the luxury of powers," another Xeraxian said. "You are not a power. You are barely a footnote in galactic history." Alex felt anger rising but kept his voice level. "We may be new to interstellar travel, but humanity has survived challenges throughout our history. We prefer friendship, but we will defend ourselves if necessary." Vexnar made that clicking sound again. "Defend? With what? Our scans show your technology is centuries behind ours. Your weapons would hardly scratch our smallest vessels." "Perhaps you shouldn't judge by appearances," Alex said carefully. "We judge by facts," Vexnar replied. "You have 1 planetary rotation to signal your surrender. After that, we will begin cleansing operations to prepare your planet for proper inhabitants." Alex stared at the alien, disbelief mingling with growing resolve. "This is your idea of diplomacy?" "This is mercy," Vexnar corrected. "Most species don't get warning at all." The meeting ended shortly after. Back aboard their shuttle, the human delegation sat in stunned silence until they were halfway to the Valiant. "We need to warn Earth," Alex finally said. "Full alert, all defense systems, and contact Admiral Peterson immediately." As the Valiant raced back toward Earth, Alex stood alone at the viewport. The stars no longer looked beautiful and inviting. They now seemed cold and dangerous, hiding threats humanity had never imagined. But if the Xeraxians thought humans would surrender without a fight, they were about to learn a painful lesson about Earth's children. Humanity had not clawed its way up from caves to the stars by giving up when faced with superior forces. The real first contact war was about to begin. The EDF Valiant raced back to Earth, pushing its engines beyond safe limits. Commander Alex Russell paced the bridge, his mind racing faster than the ship. The fate of humanity now rested on how quickly they could prepare. Message from Admiral Peterson, sir, Lieutenant Cole called out. "The Security Council is gathering. They want us to report directly when we arrive." Alex nodded grimly. "Time to Earth?" 4 hours at current speed, Officer Wright replied. "Any faster, and we risk engine failure." The next 4 hours felt like days. When they finally entered Earth orbit, the Valiant was immediately directed to the United Nations Space Command headquarters in Geneva. The UNSC Council chamber buzzed with tense energy. Leaders from all major Earth nations and colonies sat around a massive circular table. Screens around the room showed military officers and government officials who couldn't attend in person. No one spoke above whispers as they waited for the briefing to begin. Admiral Frank Peterson, a tall man with steel-gray hair and eyes that had seen too many conflicts, stood as Alex and his team entered. His weathered face betrayed no emotion, but the slight tightening of his jaw told Alex everything he needed to know. "Commander Russell, report," Peterson ordered. Alex stepped forward. For the next 20 minutes, he detailed everything about the encounter with the Xeraxians. The room grew quieter with each passing moment. When he finished, the silence was absolute. Then it broke all at once as voices erupted in panic and outrage. "One day. They gave us 1 day before they attack. How can we possibly defend against such technology? Should we consider their terms?" Admiral Peterson slammed his fist on the table. The room fell silent again. "We have faced extinction before," he said, his voice steady. "We survived world wars, climate collapse, and our own self-destructive tendencies. We will not bow to alien overlords now." He turned to a woman sitting quietly at the far end of the table. "Dr. Martinez, it's time to reveal what you've been working on." Dr. Olivia Martinez stood up, her dark eyes intense behind simple glasses. She was the head of the Xenotech Research Division, a department whose existence had been kept secret from all but the highest levels of government. 30 years ago, she began, a small alien craft crashed in the Arctic. The pilot died on impact, but the ship remained largely intact. It wasn't Xeraxian, but its technology was far beyond ours. My team has spent 3 decades studying and reverse engineering what we found. Gasps and murmurs filled the room. Alex felt a spark of hope ignite in his chest. "Why weren't we informed of this?" demanded the Chinese representative. "Because humans aren't always good at keeping secrets," Admiral Peterson replied bluntly. "But now that secrecy might save us all." He nodded for Dr. Martinez to continue. She pressed a button on her tablet. Holographic images appeared above the table, showing weapon designs and defense systems. "We've managed to adapt some of their technology to our own," she explained. "Particularly their shield systems and energy weapons. We've equipped several key military installations with these prototypes. Most importantly, the lunar defense network has been fully upgraded. A new image appeared, massive gun emplacements on the moon's surface, previously disguised as mining operations. The Xeraxians will expect us to defend Earth directly," Dr. Martinez continued. "They won't anticipate an attack from our lunar colonies. Additionally, we've developed a frequency modulator that should disrupt their shield technology." Admiral Peterson took over. "We've also been building ships using this technology, hidden in facilities throughout the solar system. They're not fully complete, but they can fight." Alex stared in amazement. All this had been happening in secret while the rest of humanity pushed outward into the stars. "Why keep building conventional ships like the Valiant if we had this technology?" Alex asked. "Deception," Admiral Peterson answered simply. "We didn't know who was watching. Better to appear less advanced than we actually are." The briefing continued for another hour as the defense plan took shape. The lunar colonies would be evacuated to underground bunkers. The experimental defense network would be their first line of counterattack. Meanwhile, Earth's conventional forces would create the appearance of a disorganized, desperate defense. The Xeraxians must believe their initial assessment was correct, Peterson explained, that we're primitive and outmatched. It's our only advantage. As the meeting ended, Alex received new orders. The Valiant would join 5 other ships in a seemingly hopeless stand against the Xeraxian fleet, while secretly carrying the frequency modulators to the other vessels. Dr. Martinez caught up with Alex in the corridor outside. "Commander, there's something else you should know." She handed him a small device. "This contains the coordinates for our hidden shipyard on Europa. If things go wrong up here, get this to Captain Joe Garcia at Lunar Base Alpha. He'll know what to do." Alex tucked the device away securely. "How long have you been preparing for this?" Dr. Martinez's expression was solemn. "Ever since we translated the warning message in that crashed ship. Beware the expanding darkness. We didn't know what it meant then. Now we do." 20 hours later, the Xeraxian ultimatum expired. Just as predicted, Their massive fleet appeared near the moon, 8 vessels that dwarfed anything in Earth's conventional navy. From the bridge of the Valiant, Alex watched as the Zeraxian ships moved into attack formation. His small fleet of 6 ships looked pathetically outmatched. "All ships, this is Commander Russell. Remember the plan. Defensive formation Delta. Make it look good, but stay alive." On his private channel, he contacted Captain Garcia at Lunar Base Alpha. "Captain, are your people safely below?" "All civilians evacuated to the bunkers," Garcia confirmed. His voice was tense but determined. "Defense batteries ready but camouflaged. The bugs won't see us until it's too late." "Remember, wait for my signal," Alex reminded him. "We need them fully committed to the attack." The first Zeraxian shot sliced through space, brilliant beams of blue energy that illuminated the darkness. 2 struck a nearby Earth vessel, cutting through its hull like paper. The ship exploded in a ball of fire. Alex gritted his teeth. Those were real people dying, friends and colleagues sacrificing themselves to maintain the deception. "Evasive. Maneuvers," he ordered as a beam narrowly missed the Valiant. "Return fire." The Earth ships fired their conventional weapons, missiles and railguns that splashed harmlessly against the Zeraxian shields. High Executor Vexnar's voice came through on an open channel, sounding smug. "Your resistance is as pathetic as expected. Surrender now, and we may spare some of your people as servants." Alex smiled grimly. "Now, Captain Garcia." From the lunar surface, concealed hatches slid open. Massive gun emplacements rose from hiding places, powered by the reverse-engineered alien technology. Before the Zeraxians could react, the lunar defense batteries fired. Beams of concentrated energy, calibrated to the exact frequency of the Zeraxian shields, struck 3 enemy ships simultaneously. Their shields flickered and failed. A second volley tore into their exposed hulls. "All Earth vessels," Alex broadcast. "Activate frequency modulators and engage at will. Operation Hornet's Nest is a go." The tide was about to turn. The space around Earth's moon erupted in chaos. The Zeraxian ships, suddenly vulnerable without their shields, tried to regroup. 3 of their vessels were already severely damaged, leaking atmosphere and debris into space. The remaining 5 turned their weapons toward the lunar surface, targeting the defense batteries. "They're adjusting their shield frequencies," Lieutenant Cole warned from her station on the Valiant. "The modulators won't work for long." Alex nodded grimly. "Then we make every shot count. All ships, concentrate fire on the damaged vessels. Don't let them recover." Earth's small fleet, now using the adapted alien technology, focused their attacks. 2 more Zeraxian ships exploded in brilliant flashes of light, but the victory was short-lived. The remaining enemy vessels completed their adjustments and turned their full fury on the human fleet. The Valiant shuddered as a direct hit tore through its port side. Warning alarms blared across the bridge. "Hull breach on decks, 4 through, 6, Officer Wright reported, his voice steady despite the chaos. "Emergency bulkheads holding. Lunar batteries taking heavy fire," Captain Garcia reported over the comm. "We can't hold them off much longer." Alex knew it was time for the next phase. He pulled out the small device Dr. Martinez had given him and inserted it into his console. A set of encrypted coordinates appeared on his private screen. "All Earth vessels. This is Commander Russell. Fall back to Earth orbit. Draw the enemy away from the moon." As the Earth ships retreated, the Zeraxians followed, just as planned. Alex opened a secure channel to a frequency few knew existed. "Europa Base. This is Commander Russell of the EDF Valiant. Authorization code Sierra 97 Tango Echo. Operation Hornet's Nest is in effect. I repeat, Operation Hornet's Nest is in effect." For several seconds, only static answered him. Then a woman's voice replied, "Authorization confirmed. Europa Base receiving. Stand by, Commander." Millions of miles away, beneath the icy surface of Jupiter's moon Europa, alarms sounded throughout a massive hidden facility. Major Kate Winters ran through crowded corridors as crews rushed to their stations. For 5 years, she had overseen the final phases of humanity's secret fleet, ships built with a combination of human engineering and adapted alien technology. "All personnel to launch stations," she ordered, through the base-wide comm system. This is not a drill. Repeat. This is not a drill. The massive underground hangar buzzed with activity as pilots and crews boarded their vessels. Technicians performed final checks on weapon systems and engines. Medical teams prepared for casualties. Kate reached the command center, where her second-in-command Lieutenant Paul Davis waited with a concerned expression. "Status report," she demanded. "Earth forces are engaged with a Xeraxian fleet," he replied. "They're outnumbered and outgunned. The lunar defense batteries bought them some time, but they need our help." Kate nodded. "Then let's not keep them." Waiting. Begin launch sequence. Deep beneath Europa's icy crust, enormous hangar doors slid open. The ice above had been carefully carved into massive exit tunnels leading to the surface, disguised to look like natural formations. Kate strode onto the bridge of the EDF Defiance, the largest vessel in the hidden fleet. Admiral Peterson was already there, having arrived weeks earlier to prepare for this possibility. "Status of the fleet?" the Admiral asked. "All 23 ships ready for launch," Kate reported. "Crews at battle stations." Admiral Peterson turned to face the bridge. "Crew, the moment we've prepared for has arrived. Humanity faces an existential threat. Some would say we're outmatched. They're wrong. We have the element of surprise, we have determination, and we have something the Xeraxians will never understand, the human spirit." He turned to Kate. Major Winters launched the fleet. One by one, the ships of humanity's hidden armada emerged from Europa's icy surface. The smallest was twice the size of the Valiant. The largest, the EDF Defiance, was nearly the equal of the Xeraxian flagship. Back near Earth, the situation had grown desperate. 2 more Earth vessels had been destroyed. The Valiant was heavily damaged, limping toward the protective cover of Earth's conventional defense platforms. "Sir," Lieutenant Cole said suddenly, "I'm picking up multiple signals from the Jupiter system." Alex allowed himself a small smile. "Put it on screen." The main display showed a fleet of ships approaching at incredible speed, humanity's true military power revealed at last. "All Earth forces, this is Admiral Peterson aboard the EDF Defiance. Hold position. Reinforcements have arrived." Across the damaged bridge of the Valiant, the crew cheered. Alex felt a weight lift from his shoulders. They had a fighting chance. Now. But the battle was far from over. The Xeraxians, seeing the new threat, regrouped quickly. Their remaining 6 ships formed a defensive formation. Meanwhile, on Mars, another surprise awaited. Colonel Greg Howard stood in the control center of what appeared to be a standard mining facility. In reality, it housed another of humanity's secret weapons. "They don't know we're here," he told his operators. "Let's keep it that way until we're ready to strike." Beneath the Martian surface, massive weapons platforms powered up, drawing energy from the planet's core. These cannons, disguised as mining equipment, were positioned to hit the Xeraxian fleet from behind once they engaged with the Europa forces. High Executor Vexnar, aboard his damaged flagship, received reports of the new human fleet with disbelief. "Impossible," he hissed, his mandibles clicking in agitation. "Their technological level cannot support such vessels." "The readings are accurate, Executor," his second-in-command reported. "These ships contain technology similar to our own. The humans have deceived us." Vexanar's compound eyes flickered with rage. "All vessels prepare to engage. Show these primitives the true might of the Xeraxian Confederacy." The Xeraxian fleet turned to face the approaching Earth ships. Both sides launched fighters, small, agile craft designed for close combat. Space between the fleets filled with streaking energy beams and explosions. From the bridge of the Defiance, Admiral Peterson watched the battle unfold. "Major Winters, signal. Mars base. Tell them to fire when the Xeraxians are fully engaged with us." Kate relayed the order, then turned to her weapons officer. "Target the enemy flagship. Let's introduce ourselves properly." The Defiance's main guns charged, drawing power from its advanced reactor core. The ship shuddered slightly as the massive energy weapons fired, sending a blinding beam toward the Xeraxian command vessel. At the same moment, The hidden cannons on Mars activated. Massive energy beams shot upward from the red planet's surface, catching the Zeraxian fleet in a devastating crossfire. 2 more enemy ships erupted in flames. Another spun out of control, its engines destroyed. For the first time since the battle began, the Zeraxians were on the defensive. From the damaged bridge of the Valiant, Alex watched in awe as humanity's full military might was finally revealed. The tables had turned. The hunters had become the hunted. The real battle for Earth's survival had just begun. The battle raged for 3 days without pause. Space around Earth became a graveyard of broken ships and debris. The once mighty Zeraxian fleet was reduced to just 2 vessels, their flagship, the dominant Will, and a single heavy cruiser. Both were heavily damaged and struggling to maintain power. Human losses were also severe. The lunar colonies had suffered massive destruction. Earth's orbital stations were gone. Half of the Europa fleet had been destroyed or disabled. The EDF Valiant had been so badly damaged that Alex and his surviving crew had transferred to the Defiance. On the bridge of the Defiance, Admiral Peterson studied the tactical display. His uniform was wrinkled, his eyes red from lack of sleep, but his voice remained steady as he issued orders. "The enemy flagship is trying to retreat," he noted. "Major Winters, can we cut them off?" Kate checked her console. "Yes, sir. We can intercept them before they reach the jump point." "Do it," Peterson ordered. "Commander Russell, prepare a boarding party. I want High Executor Vexnar captured alive." Alex nodded grimly. After witnessing the destruction the Zeraxians had caused, part of him wanted Vexnar dead, but he understood the strategic value of capturing the alien leader. "Lieutenant Cole, you're with me," Alex said. "We'll need your linguistic skills." The Defiance moved to block the Zeraxian flagship's escape route. Both ships fired their remaining weapons, scoring hits on each other's hulls. The dominant Will tried to veer away, but its damaged engines couldn't generate enough power. "They're dead in space," Kate reported. "Minimal power readings. Their weapons are offline." Admiral Peterson opened a communication channel. "This is Admiral Frank Peterson of the Earth Defense Fleet. Your ship is disabled. Your fleet is destroyed. Surrender now or be destroyed." For several tense minutes, there was no response. Then, the screen flickered to life, showing High Executor Vexnar. The once proud alien looked diminished. One of his forearms hung uselessly at his side. His exoskeleton was cracked in several places. "You have won this battle, humans," Vexnar said, his translated voice flat. "But the Zeraxian Confederacy spans hundreds of star systems. When they learn of this defeat, they will send a fleet that will darken your skies. Your victory today means nothing." Admiral Peterson's expression remained hard. "We'll take our chances. Prepare to be boarded." Alex led a team of 20 soldiers onto the Zeraxian flagship. They moved carefully through the damaged corridors, encountering little resistance. Most of the alien crew was either dead or too injured to fight. Those who surrendered were secured and treated by human medics. They found High Executor Vexnar in what appeared to be the ship's command center. The alien leader sat in a large throne-like chair, surrounded by the bodies of his officers. He made no move to resist as Alex's team secured him. "You should have killed me," Vexnar said as they led him away. "That's not how we do things," Alex replied. Back on Earth, the United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session to decide what to do with their prisoner. Representatives from all nations attended, along with military leaders and scientific experts. Dr. Diane Miller, the world's foremost expert in exobiology, had spent the past 2 days studying the Zeraxians. She stood now before the council, her face grave. "The Zeraxians are a hierarchical species," she explained. "Their society is built on dominance and submission. They respect only strength and will only communicate with those they consider equals or superiors." "Then why bother talking to them at all?" asked the representative from Brazil. "Why not just build more ships and prepare for their next attack?" Admiral Peterson, who had just returned from space, stepped forward. "Because we need information. Their technology, their numbers, their weaknesses. And we need time." The discussion continued for hours. Finally, a decision was reached. Earth would send a message, not just to the Zeraxians, but to the entire galaxy. High Executor Vexnar was brought before the Council, heavily guarded but treated with the dignity of a head of state. UNSC Secretary General Paul Baker addressed him directly. "Your attack on our world has failed," Baker said, "but we do not seek to destroy your people. We offer you the chance to return to your confederacy with a message." Vexinar's compound eyes flickered with surprise. "You would release me?" "With conditions," Baker replied. "You will carry our message. You will tell your leaders exactly what happened here. And you will show them this." He nodded to Dr. Martinez, who stepped forward with a small data device. "This contains records of the battle, including your defeat. It also contains something else. A warning. Using the Zeraxian ship's advanced communication technology, humanity prepared to broadcast across all known frequencies and subspace channels used by galactic civilizations. The message would reach every corner of known space." Secretary General Baker stood before a simple black background, his expression solemn but determined. Video cameras recorded as he delivered humanity's message to the stars. "To all sentient species of the galaxy, I am Paul Baker, Secretary General of the United Nations of Earth. For most of you, this is the first time you have heard of our world or our people. We wish it could have been under better circumstances." Paused, his gaze steady. "Recently, forces from the Zeraxian Confederacy attacked our planet without provocation. They demanded our submission. They threatened our extinction. They underestimated our resolve." The camera pulled back to show High Executor Vexinar standing nearby, flanked by guards. "We defeated their invasion force, not through superior numbers, but through determination, ingenuity, and courage. We now return their commander to them, as a gesture of peace. But this gesture comes with a message." Baker's voice grew stronger. "Humanity extends a hand of friendship to those who seek peaceful cooperation. We wish to join the galactic community as equals, to trade knowledge and culture to grow together. But know this, we will defend ourselves with everything we have." His expression hardened slightly. "We are armed. We are ready. And we will not surrender our freedom. Any species harboring hostile intent toward Earth or human colonies should consider this our first and last warning." The broadcast ended. High Executor Vexinar was escorted to one of his undamaged shuttles and allowed to leave Earth orbit. As his small craft disappeared into the darkness of space, Alex stood beside Admiral Peterson in the control room, watching the radar track fade. "Do you think they'll listen?" Alex asked quietly. Peterson's weathered face showed no emotion. "Some will, some won't. Either way, we'll be ready." Dr. Martinez joined them, her expression thoughtful. "The technology we captured from their ships will advance our understanding by decades. We'll be stronger when they return." "When, not if?" Alex asked. Martinez nodded. "The galaxy just got a lot more complicated. We've announced our presence, in the most dramatic way possible. There's no going back to the time when we were alone among the stars. As night fell over Earth, people looked up at the sky with new eyes. The stars were no longer just distant points of light. They were suns around which orbited countless worlds, some inhabited by beings both wondrous and terrible. The universe had become a much smaller place, and humanity's place in it had forever changed. The message had been sent. Now they would prepare for whatever answer came back from the stars. 2 years passed since the Zeraxian conflict. Earth had changed in ways few could have imagined. The revelation that humanity was not alone in the universe, and that some aliens were hostile, had united the planet like nothing before. Old conflicts seemed petty in the face of potential extinction. Nations pooled resources, shared technology, and worked together toward a common goal: survival in a dangerous galaxy. Admiral Russell, promoted after the battle, stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, Earth's new orbital diplomatic center. The massive structure served as both a military outpost and a meeting place for the growing number of alien delegations visiting Earth. Through the massive viewport, he could see ships arriving and departing, human vessels alongside. Alien craft of various designs. Hard to believe it's only been 2 years, a voice said behind him. Alex turned to see Lieutenant Cole, now Captain Cole, approaching. She had become Earth's chief diplomatic officer, her linguistic skills proving invaluable as humanity established relations with other species. Sometimes it feels like a lifetime, Alex replied. Other times like yesterday. They stood in comfortable silence, watching the Earth slowly rotate below them. The blue planet showed signs of new construction, defensive platforms in orbit, launch facilities on the surface, and the beginnings of a proper space dock. The Arturian delegation has arrived, Samantha said after a moment. They're ready for the meeting. Alex nodded and straightened his uniform. Let's not keep them waiting. They walked through the station's wide corridors, passing humans and aliens working side by side. After the broadcast of Earth's warning message, several alien civilizations had reached out, smaller powers who had also suffered under Xeraxian expansion. They saw in humanity a potential ally against a common enemy. The meeting room was designed to accommodate various life forms. The Arturians, crystalline beings who communicated through light patterns, hovered near one wall. The Melosians, aquatic creatures who needed special suits filled with liquid to survive in air, occupied another section. Representatives from the Vega Collective, a group of sentient plants who communicated through pheromones, stood near specialized air vents. Admiral Russell, the Arturian delegate, pulsed in greeting, the light patterns translated through special devices. We bring news from the border regions. The Xeraxians called you primitives. The Melosian representative bubbled through his translator. Yet you defeated their greatest fleet. The galaxy has taken notice. We never wanted war, Alex replied. We just refused to be conquered. A distinction lost on the Xeraxians, the Vega representative noted, her words emerging as sweet-smelling puffs of air. But not on others. The Galactic Concord has expressed interest in your species. Alex exchanged a surprised glance with Samantha. The Galactic Concord, an alliance of 17 spacefaring civilizations that had maintained peace in their region of the galaxy for millennia, had initially ignored humanity as too insignificant to notice. The defeat of the Xeraxians had changed everything. Before Alex could respond, the door opened and Dr. Olivia Martinez entered. In the 2 years since the battle, she had become the head of Earth's Advanced Technology Division, leading efforts to combine human innovation with alien science. Sorry I'm late, she said. We just had a breakthrough with the phase shield technology. No apologies needed, Alex assured her. What's the status? Olivia's eyes sparkled with excitement. We've improved the energy efficiency by 60%. The new shields can withstand twice the firepower of the previous generation with half the power consumption. The alien delegates showed signs of impression. The Arturian glowed brighter, the Melosian's liquid suit rippled, and the Vega representative released a scent of approval. You move quickly for such a young species, the Arturian noted. Most races take centuries to achieve what you've done in decades. Necessity is a powerful motivator, Olivia replied. And we're not just catching up anymore. In some areas, we're leading the way. Their discussion was interrupted by a communication alert. The station's AI announced, Admiral Russell, the Galactic Concord representatives have arrived. They're ready to discuss Earth's membership application. The room fell silent. This meeting had been months in preparation. Joining the Concord would give humanity access to advanced technology, trade routes, and most importantly, allies against the Xeraxian threat. Well, Alex said, straightening his uniform again. Let's not keep them waiting. As they walked to the main conference chamber, Samantha moved closer to Alex. Do you think they'll accept us? They'd be fools not to, Alex replied. But either way, Earth stands ready. The main conference chamber was the largest room on the station, with a massive circular table and a spectacular view of Earth below. The Concord delegation, representatives from 5 of the 17 member species, waited inside. Their appearances varied wildly, from the insect-like Trovians to the energy beings called Lumini, who hovered in containment fields. Alex took a deep breath and entered. This moment would shape humanity's future for generations to come. Meanwhile, on the newly established colony on Proxima Centauri B, Major Kate Winters oversaw construction of a defense outpost. Unlike Earth's previous hidden preparations, this one was built in plain sight, a clear signal to the galaxy. "Major," her communications officer called. "Message from Earth. The Concord meeting has begun." Kate nodded, then turned back to the viewport. Below, construction robots and human workers assembled massive defense cannons on the planet's surface. Similar outposts were being built on every human colony, visible deterrents against any who might threaten Earth's children. "Do you think the Xeraxians will try again?" asked Lieutenant Paul Davis, now her second in command. "Eventually," Kate replied. "Their kind always does. But next time, we'll be ready from the start." Back on Earth, in what had once been Dr. Martinez's secret laboratory, now stood the Interspecies Technology Exchange, a massive complex where human scientists worked alongside alien researchers from a dozen worlds. Their projects ranged from medical technology to weapon systems, from faster-than-light drive improvements to terraforming techniques. Dr. Nathan Hayes, once part of Alex's first contact team, led a group developing communication technology that could translate any known language in real time. The implications for diplomacy were enormous. "We're making history here," he told his team during their daily briefing, "not just for Earth, but for the galaxy." As night fell across the planet, people looked up at the stars with new understanding. Those distant points of light were no longer mysterious or unreachable. They were destinations, homes to friends and enemies, opportunities and dangers. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage. They came seeking peace and cooperation, but they were armed and ready for whatever the universe might throw at them. Their warning had been delivered to the stars, and the stars had finally listened. In the vastness of space, aboard the remaining ships of their once mighty fleet, the Xeraxians watched with growing concern as the primitive species they had tried to conquer began to forge alliances throughout the sector. High Executor Vexnar, disgraced but still alive, remembered the human admiral's words. "We'll be ready." For the first time in his long life, Vexnar felt something new: doubt. Perhaps these humans were more dangerous than anyone had realized. Perhaps underestimating them had been the greatest mistake the Confederacy had ever made. Only time would tell. And in the dance of empires among the stars, time was the one resource even the mighty Xeraxians could not control.